Okay, I think we're live.
Hello everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Facebook Live. I'm Jenny Keller of Jenny Cookies. I'm here in the Seattle area. I have a destination bake shop called Jenny Cookies Bake Shop, and we're known for our buttercream sugar cookies. So today I'm going to show you 3 of my favorite ways to decorate Christmas sugar cookies this season. So I've started with my signature no-fail sugar cookie recipe, which you can find in my cookbook, Cookie Class or Eat More Dessert, or on my website, jennycookies.com. They're super easy to bake. You cannot mess these cookies up, I promise, and they taste delicious. And I've cut out the shapes using some Wilton cutters, which are literally the best. I'm loving the shape and the size of these little cutters. So today I made a Christmas tree, the little snowman shape, and then also the gift. But it comes in this amazing pack here that has 18 different cutters, and I really think this is the perfect size for Christmas cookies, but sometimes it's just too much to have a giant cookie shape. So you can find those on wilton.com.
It's the perfect mix, too, of all of your favorite holiday icons.
I agree. So before we get started, I really want to hear where you guys are coming from and what maybe your signature treat is that you make every holiday season for your friends and family, because I think everybody wants to know like new ideas. So go ahead and comment below. Heather's behind the camera. She's going to say hi to you guys and tell us where you're coming from today. And if you're just joining in, we are making buttercream decorated sugar cookies. So I have my icing bags filled here. I always use the disposable decorating bags by Wilton. They're super nice to use because you can just throw them away when you're done. And I have all the bags fitted with a coupler and a decorating tip. And if you're not familiar with couplers, they are these little plastic pieces here. They come in a 2-piece, I guess, set when you get them. And the purpose for them is so that you can easily switch your tip out, because sometimes you're decorating a cookie and you're using a round tip and you need to switch to a star tip, and it's really nice because you don't have to make a whole separate bag. So I have green here, I have white, black, pink, and red, and I'm going to go through and show you how I made some of these colors because they aren't necessarily made with just one food color.
Before you start that, Jenny, I want to say hi to some of our followers here. We have Sandy tuning in from Mexico.
Hi, Sandy.
We have Erica Prado from San Antonio, Texas.
Oh my goodness.
And we have Michelle Copeland from Georgia.
Ooh, what's the weather like where you guys are at? Because we're in Seattle and it's a pretty rainy day today. Out the window. It's what we're known for. It's kind of gray and yucky, but we're happy inside because we're surrounded with cookies and buttercream. So you can't help but be happy when you're surrounded with cookies and icing. So I have the icing colors here from Wilton. It's the gel colors. I love to use these with usually like a toothpick as I'm mixing my colors, and I used my signature buttercream icing recipe. This is a crusting buttercream. So what that means is it's a nice medium consistency, but it crusts after about 6 to 8 hours, which is really nice, so that you could package them up or put them in a box for gifting, but they're not going to harden all the way like a Royal Icing cookie. So you can find this recipe, like I said, on my website, jennycookies.com, or in my latest cookbook, Cookie Class. But back to the food coloring. Red, this is the no taste red, and this is the only one where you're going to use quite a bit of the food coloring to achieve this color red. And I teach a lot of cookie classes. I always tell my audience that you don't have to go super dark red, because icing colors always dry about a shade darker, and people aren't going to necessarily like pick up a red cookie and make sure it matches something red. It's still going to look nice and red on its own. So the no taste red is the color we're using today. We also have pink, and this one's the exact opposite of red. So pink, you're just going to use a toothpick, and it is literally the tiniest amount of pink to achieve this color pink right here.
I love that Wilton has thought of no taste red too. Like,
right?
Can we just talk about that?
I know, it's so nice, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want the red one, I don't want it to taste bad. So it's a really great option for people. Black, we are going to use a tiny bit of black for the eyes of the snowman, and you just need the tiniest amount of icing if you're going to separate yours out. It's just a little bit for the dots. I always even store mine in the fridge later because I decorate a lot of cookies, and it's always nice just to have just this tiny bit of black if you need to do little details on cookies. White, didn't color it at all. This just came straight from the mixer. And then this is a green where I said we mixed a couple of colors together to achieve this really great green color. It's Wilton's Kelly Green, and then also just a touch of the royal blue. So It's really fun to kind of mix and match and play around with icing colors to achieve some of your own color palettes. In my business, in our bakery, we are known for changing our menu every single month. We change all the shapes and the colors and the designs, and our color palette is my most important piece to each menu. We always want to make sure we have a very unique and creative color palette. So play around. The more you practice, the better you get.
Great. We have so many people joining us. Can we get thumbs up and hearts if you guys can hear us okay?
Yes.
And if you've ever tried Jenny's sugar cookie recipe before.
Yeah, I want to know. Okay, and then I want to tell you guys which tips I'm using today. So which shape should we do first, Heather? We've got trees, gifts, and snowmen today. I'm going to let you pick a favorite. You guys should pick a favorite.
Yeah. What does everybody want to see first?
What do you guys want to see?
I want to see a gift first because who doesn't love getting a gift at the holidays?
Let's go for the little gift. So, I mean, this, again, is just such a great little size. It's a couple bites, 2 to 3 bites in a cookie. And I'm going to start with just this is the decorating basic white color here. And I actually have a star tip on here, so I'm going to switch this out. Again, this is why we use couplers, so we can easily swap this out. And I'm going to use a number 4 tip, so we screw that on. And then if you're new to decorating, one of my tips is always to make sure you push all your icing down into the bag before you start. And then I hold mine in my dominant hand. This one just helps guide. You never want to do this. If you're new to decorating and you want to make a beautiful cookie, hold it in the palm of your hand and make sure this is nice and twisted here so no icing is coming out the back end. And then we're just going to fill the outer edge of the cookie. And I usually do it in kind of a continuous motion. And if you mess up, you can always just pick it back up.
So kind of like a little outline.
Yep, draw the outline. I feel like it's nice to do the outline because then you can kind of move your cookies around and not worry about, putting your finger in the icing. And then we're gonna go back and forth like this.
And Jenny, can you remind us what Wilton tip you have on this bag?
This one is a number 4.
Okay.
And it's one of those tips that whenever I'm shopping for tips, I like to buy quite a few of them, like 4 or 5 of them, because you use them so often in buttercream sugar cookies. It's really nice to have extra, so you're not constantly going to your sink and washing them. And then the other thing about buttercream that's so wonderful is I just stopped. It's okay, you can stop and pick back up, because a lot of people that are new to decorating, their hands kind of shake. And so it's fine to just do a couple lines and then get back in. And then when you're filling your bags, never fill your bag all the way to here, because when it's full of icing and you're trying to squeeze way back here, you're pushing all that icing through. Normally it's going to come back out at you all over your arm.
That's the worst.
But the nice thing about Wilton bags, I'll show you, I don't know how close you can see, is they have this perforated little line right here, and it actually says max. So that's your hint to not fill it above. You can always put more in, but you can't really take it out. So we'll go back and finish our little gift.
So
the body of the gift.
Signature little back and forth.
Yeah, it's just easy. So we've got that, and then I took some of Wilton's sprinkles. I have some little pink pearls, some little white non-pearls, and then the little standing sugar, and I'm just gonna kind of dust the cookie with this. I think it's so much fun to use the sprinkles that you have in your cabinet and just make your own little sprinkle mix. So we gave it a little design there. We have a runaway.
Everything's better with sprinkles, right?
Everything's better with sprinkles.
Especially in the holiday.
Yep, and then now I have the pink that we used, just that tiny little toothpick worth, and it has the number 4 tip as well. And we're just gonna draw a little bow on right here. So I'm gonna make 2 loops around, and you can just follow the shape of the cookie here, and then you're gonna start in the center and just squeeze continuously here, and then pull up gently, and you have
the perfect
cute little gift.
I come in
Think
on
I lost the non-Perel.
I love that.
It's so
the
cute.
Now that's the perfect gift.
That's right. I
Who
love
doesn't want
it.
cookies?
I love it. So as you guys are watching, if you have any questions at all about cookie decorating, how you store cookies, baking tips and tricks, definitely let us know, because Heather can read some of those off for us. What's next, Heather? A tree or a snowman?
It sounds like lots of people want to see that cute snowman.
Okay, I
so
love
let's do
the
snowman next.
He's so cute, and again, just the perfect size. And I have 1 bag filled with a giant round cupcake tip right here. So this one doesn't need a coupler. And I found we do this one quite a bit in the bake shop because it can fill a cookie in a short amount of time, and it also gives a lot of icing on your cookie. For those of you guys that love a lot of icing, that's a fun question for everybody. Are you the person that picks the cookie with the most icing? Or are you the person that picks the one that doesn't have a lot of icing? There's no wrong answer. We don't judge. We just want to know what you like. In the bake shop, we have a little of each. We have a snowflake, which is the hair of icing, and then we have the snowman that has lots of icing. So,
Jenny, which are you?
I like a lot of icing. I do.
Everything's better with tons of buttercream.
It is. So we have the snowman sitting here, the bag filled with the giant round cupcake tip.
Okay,
and
great.
I am just going to hold the bag vertically and squeeze like this, and I'm keeping my tip in the base of this pile of buttercream here, and I'm just going to gently pull it up, and then we're going to do it again even bigger, so we're squeezing with a consistent pressure here and then pulling that up.
This is a nice beginner's.
Yeah,
Because you don't have to go back and forth. It's just a little
true.
blob of frosting.
And for any reason, you might have like the Hershey Kiss effect where you kind of pull it up and it gives that little tip like a Hershey Kiss. My tip is to go just kind of pound it down a little bit on your whatever you're decorating on, and it kind of flattens that out. And then we're going to grab our darling green color that we created, and this bag is fitted with a number 4 tip as well. And we're going to draw his little hat on. And I'm just going to go over it a few times here.
So a number 4 hat.
Number 4 hat.
And Jenny used these Wilton icing colors. It's called the icing colors.
Yeah.
There we go.
And it's Kelly green with just a little bit of royal blue. And then we're going to use those tiny dots of black. And I have this bag fitted with a number 2. Usually when I'm drawing little details, I always use really tiny tips, especially with black icing, because it does tend to bleed after it sits for a few days. So it's a number 2, and we're just going to draw the tiniest little dots here.
Tiny 2 eyes.
Tiny eyes. They're cute.
Cutest. Oh, he's
It
already
is
so cute. So fun.
And then we're going to add a little scarf, and this one's our red. This is the No Taste red, and we're going to do a thicker tip on this one. So again, the coupler, super handy.
This is why you have that on.
It's really nice. So we're going to add the tip number 10 to this one. It's a bigger circle at the top, and we're going to give him a nice thick scarf.
Every snowman needs a scarf.
I agree. Isn't that cute?
So cute.
And then we're just going to give him a little
cute.
darling
And if you guys
scarf.
are looking for these tips, they can get them at wilton.com, correct?
Wilton.com. Like I said, grab a whole bunch of number 4 tips. But before I draw his little nose on, I'm going to show you something that's really nice for beginners, beginning cookie decorators. They have this deluxe tip set, but here's my favorite part. There's a guide inside.
Oh, that's amazing.
So this is so nice. It comes with a little kind of a house for all of your tips to live in your kitchen, but you have a cheat sheet here of what the different tips will do. And I think even sometimes I refer to these kinds of things because we love to use different tips for different textures on our cookies. And I think this is just a really great set to start with.
That
So
would
I
be an
recommend
incredible
getting this.
gift.
It
Like
would be
little
a great gift.
gift for a beginning baker
Yeah.
or someone that does bake in your life.
Yeah.
Just have a whole collection.
For any age. I'm
Yes.
finding more and more kids just love to learn to decorate. And they're smarter than just using a knife, anymore. They want to use the real stuff. So this is a great gift. Snowman needs a nose, and I love pink, so I'm going to give him a pink nose, even though I've never seen a pink carrot. But we're going to hold our bag vertical, and we're just going to draw on his nose. I'm going to squeeze with pressure, and then just slightly let it go, and give him, oh my gosh, he is so cute.
I love
Look
him.
how cute that little snowman is. I love him.
So fun. Now we get to the best part.
The Christmas
The
tree. The Christmas tree. So I did white trees, but you guys can do whatever color tree you want. I do not discriminate in buttercream color. I think that you guys can use your creativity. I love to use pink all year round. We have like a pink Christmas menu at the bake shop. We have pink pumpkins at the bake shop. We do everything pink as much as we can. But I'm going to use white today. And I think white's really, really nice for people that maybe don't like to use food coloring in their sugar cookies. It also just looks very elegant on a platter. You could just pick one shape, do everything white, and it's just beautiful. It looks so pretty on a nice platter.
Sure.
So I switched my tip again with my coupler. I put that star tip back on, which is tip 18. And for the tree, I always turn it upside down, okay? And then we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to squeeze to get this nice texture and then pull it back. So here we go, decorating here, our Christmas tree. Does not have to be perfect, guys. The thing about star tips that I love is that it makes everything very, very forgiving. So we're going to go over that first layer.
Kind of layer over.
Yeah, and it gives it like a little bit of like a 3-dimensional look here. And then we'll start over there. And this would be cute in green, pink,
What
red.
color would you guys do your trees?
Yeah.
Let's hear. Do you guys like traditional green or do you want a snowy white?
Yeah, who likes, what's it called when you have the frosted tree? There's a name for
It's
it.
flocked.
Flocked. The flocked tree. And now I have my green base. So this is the number 4 again. And we're just going to go back and forth to give that a little trunk there. And then this is super cute as is. You can throw some sprinkles on it. In some of my pre-designed trees over here, I just drew a little garland with little polka dots, which is really cute. So I'm going to switch my tip again and put that number 4 back on. And this might be a little bit challenging. So this is probably the hardest thing you might do if you're going to make this exact design. You're just going to draw these little dots. And dots are something that are really nice to practice because it does sometimes get that little, you can always pull it back if that happens. See what just happened there? Practice your dots because they do sometimes give you that little Hershey kiss effect there.
And your tip for that is to actually keep the tip down in while you'll...
Yeah, you don't want to like pull up. Because see, even if I
that.
practice here, like when you squeeze and you pull up, it gives you that, it's kind of so tiny. But you just want to squeeze and then
So
let
Glory
go.
says she loves flocked trees.
Yeah.
Shannon Anderson says super cute.
Aren't they
So
fun?
fun. Who wouldn't love to get this beautiful cookie
I
as a
know.
gift? Surprise Santa. Make them with your kids.
I got to show you guys 2 more design ideas if you're horrible at cookie decorating, because my goal is always to make everybody feel very, very successful in their cookie decorating. Heather knows this. She's not a cookie decorator. She's a happy cookie eater, but I've taught her this little tip.
This is the only way I can do it.
Anybody can do it this way, okay? So we're going to go back to the basics. We're putting the number 4 tip back on. We're going to start with the gift, and we're going to do the same technique here. We're going to draw the outline of the present, and then we're going to start to fill it in. And I know Heather has some comments she wants to answer here.
Yeah, just people are talking about their trees. Michelle would make hers blue. That'd be fun. Just a fun traditional green.
I love that. And you guys, if you're just tuning in and you are late to the cookie decorating party, this will turn into a video on Wilton's Facebook page. So don't feel like you missed out. Or this is always something really nice to refer back to. So make sure you follow the Wilton Cake Decorating page so you're always alerted when they go live, because there's always really fun stuff that we all need to learn. So I have it just outlined in the white buttercream, and I poured my sprinkles from this really fun holiday sprinkle pack here. I took the red and the white out, and I'm going to take my cookie and just dip it down into the sprinkle. And look how cute it is now.
This
It's
is
covered
the cutest.
in, like you have a sprinkle. Who would want a box of sprinkles here? And I'm going to use the red because this is handy. And I'm going to draw.
So this
that
is
little bow
great
on.
if you did the back and forth design and just quite didn't turn out like you expected. You just give it a little sparkle.
Yep. And I'm going to draw actually a little line over the top.
Cute.
So I love that one. And I'm going to do the last one in the green here. Or we'll do it the same with the...
It's truly no fail. That'd be a great method too if you're doing this with your kids.
Oh my gosh,
They
kids
could just
love it. And
dunk
then
in sprinkles.
it's actually my favorite way to eat a cookie when they're covered in the sprinkles.
Oh yeah.
I love that. Just it gives it like that little extra crunch. So I'm going to do the tree with the number 4 tip, just white icing. And this actually saves you a step. You don't have to color any icing when you do this. We're just going to go the back and forth way to fill it all in.
Doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. You guys, if your cookies aren't perfect, my signature line, what is it, Heather? What are they?
They're whimsical.
They're whimsical. That's right. There's no bad cookies. So it's outlined in the white and filled in with that back and forth method. We're going to dip it into our bowl of sugar, and now you have a nice sparkly tree. And we can draw the little stem on.
I think that's my new
little pink stem.
favorite
So
color
cute.
tree, sparkly.
Sparkle. And you could even dot over this if you wanted to kind of give it that garland.
Oh, I love that
It's
one.
like the extra mile cookie here.
Okay, that's my favorite.
Isn't that
Who
fun?
loves the pink and green?
Pink.
So
I'm all about the pink
cute.
Christmas. So I want to know what you guys are making this Christmas season.
Yeah, what are your traditional cookies? Is it sugar cookies? Do you make chocolate chip cookies? If it's sugar cookies, what
Fudge,
shape
barks.
do you make?
I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know. So this is the last Facebook Live episode of Wilton this year. So I'm just really honored that I was able to do this. It was so much fun. For more info, follow along at jennycookies.com. And you guys have a great Christmas. Happy baking.